For Thursday, February 1st, it's 60 Second Idol. Let's get right to it. Los Angeles, city of angels, and home to some of the world's most talented and glamorous transvestite prostitutes, and Catherine McPhee. Not to mention about a jillion other attention whores, all desperately trying to make their name on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So what better place than to send our American Idol crew, including last night's special guest judge, Olivia Newton-John, who's still as sweet and genuine as the best Beverly Hills plastic surgeons can make her. Speaking of Grease, leading the pack of last night's woeful auditions was lone wolf Martinique Minutri, who refers to himself as eccentric. And believe me, he's not the only one. Martinique was like a one-man Siegfried and Roy, complete with all the mystery, simulated cat noises, and blatant homoeroticism. But even though inside that pale, concave chest beat the heart of a panther, his voice sounded a little bit like it had been neutered.
Mama has made up after fun a girl. Like make my breath stop. Would you make my walls rock me sensitive on top? Like I said, Mama has made up. Won't you come around so my heart can hear your sweet, so my heart can.
Yeah, scary. Still, I think Paul hit it. Same goes for Channelandrick Stallworth, who thought he was the next Barry White, but was probably closer to Barry Gibb.
If ever you're in my arms again, this time I love you much better, you much.
But my favorite bit of emotional wreckage of the evening had to be 19-year-old Mariana Rico, who had singing in her jeans, but unfortunately not in her voice.
Darling, you got to let me know. Should I stay or should I go? If I stay, then you'll be mine.
Still, she seemed to have a good understanding of what it took to get a job in Hollywood.
Please, I'm on my knees. I'm on my knees.
But despite her forgettable performance in juvenile histrionics, there was something about Marianne that the judges seemed to like. Other standouts included Fong, who seemed to pattern her singing and her life after Taylor Hicks, based on her general lack of rhythm and the fact that her parents also discouraged her from pursuing her dream of becoming the next American Idol.
Well, I told my mom one day, I said, Mom, I want to try out for American Idol because I think I might have a chance, and she kind of sat me down and said, I'm not going to lie to you, they probably focus on looks a lot, and as pretty as you are, you're not quite TV pretty.
Aw, that's sad. But good news, there's no way they rejected you because of the way you look.
All we need is music, sweet music, there'll be music everywhere.
I guess it just goes to prove that it takes more than an involuntary twitch and contrived sense of what's hip to match old Taylor. And speaking of artificial hip, 60-something Sherman Poore showed up to audition last night armed with a petition and a heartbreaking story. And while he didn't get through the next round, he did seem to get through to the judges, who treated him with an uncharacteristic amount of respect. So all in all, it was kind of a disappointing Idol, particularly for a big city like LA. The show devoted way too much time to a couple from Compton who were both more concerned with what went into their mouths than what came out of it. And wrapped up with one of LA's palest, Eric Mueller, not really sure if he was for real or not. But he did describe his ambition like this.
I want to take what other people have done and multiply it, and multiply it.
Well, he sure did that. And if the failures seemed to be somewhat disappointing last night, then the successes were downright boring. Struggling singer Elena Alexander, who said she was planning on giving up her dream of singing until the audition, sounded pretty good.
You know how I feel, and I'm feeling good.
So did professional backup singer and name dropper Brandon Rogers.
I was singing background for a singer named Anastasia, and from there I started touring with Christina Aguilera.
Next week, the Great American Dream Crusher rolls through San Antonio, where we can only hope the producers have saved the best for last. Will the stars that night be plentiful and bright, or will Texas really be the Lone Star State? Tune in and find out. It's 60 Second Idol, the podcast I have to do because the voice in my head keeps telling me
I'm the most exciting entertainer on planet Earth.
Tune in next week for another episode, available exclusively at crabsandbeer.com.